In 2014, Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Baby Groot are renowned as the Guardians of the Galaxy. Ayesha, leader of the Sovereign race, has the Guardians protect valuable batteries from Abilisk, an interdimensional monster, in exchange for Gamora's estranged sister Nebula, who was caught attempting to steal the batteries. After Rocket steals the batteries for himself, the Sovereign attacks the Guardians' ship with a fleet of drones. A mysterious figure destroys the drones and the Guardians crash land on a nearby planet. There, this figure reveals himself as Quill's father, Ego, and invites Quill, Gamora, and Drax to his home planet.
And who the hell are you?
I figured my rugged good looks would make that obvious.
Rocket and Groot remain behind to repair the ship and guard Nebula. Meanwhile, Ayesha hires Yondu Udonta and his crew, who have been exiled from the greater Ravager community for child trafficking, to recapture the Guardians. They capture Rocket, but when Yondu hesitates to turn over Quill, whom he raised, his lieutenant Kraglin upfrontly questions his objectivity, and another lieutenant, Taser-face, leads a mutiny, aided by Nebula. Taser-face imprisons Rocket and Yondu aboard the latter's ship and executes his loyalists. Nebula leaves to find and kill Gamora, whom she blames for the torture inflicted on her by their adoptive father, Thanos. Groot and Kraglin, the latter having never intended to start the mutiny, free Rocket and Yondu. Using Yondu's arrow, the group destroys the ship and its crew while escaping. Taser-face warns the Sovereign before dying. Ego, a godlike celestial that manipulated the matter around his consciousness to form his home planet, explains that he projected a humanoid guise to travel the universe and discover a purpose, eventually falling in love with Quill's mother Meredith. Ego hired Yondu to collect the young Quill after Meredith's death, but the boy was never delivered, and Ego has been searching for him ever since. He teaches Quill to manipulate the celestial power. Nebula arrives at Ego's planet and tries to kill Gamora, but the pair reach an uneasy alliance when they discover a cavern filled with skeletal remains. Ego reveals to Quill that in his travels, he planted seedlings on thousands of worlds that can terraform into new extensions of himself, but only the power of two Celestials can activate them. To that end, he impregnated countless women and hired Yondu to collect some of the children, but killed them all when they failed to access the celestial power. At first, under Ego's influence, Quill fights back when Ego reveals that he gave Meredith the brain tumor that killed her due to the distraction she posed, forcing Ego to parasitically draw Quill's energy to activate the seedlings, which begin to consume every world. Mantis, Ego's naive empath servant, grows close to Drax and warns him of Ego's plan. Gamora and Nebula also learn of the plan as Rocket, Yondu, Groot, and Kraglin arrive. After rescuing Quill, the reunited Guardians travel to Ego's brain at the planet's core, during which Yondu reveals that he kept Quill to spare him from the fate of Ego's other progeny. As they come under attack from the Sovereign's drones, Rocket makes a bomb using the stolen batteries, which Groot plants on the brain. Quill fights Ego with his newfound celestial powers to distract him long enough for the other Guardians and Mantis to escape. The bomb explodes, killing Ego and disintegrating the planet. Quill loses his celestial powers soon after Ego's death. Yondu sacrifices himself to save Quill and dies in the vacuum of space. Having reconciled with Gamora, Nebula still chooses to leave and resume her quest to kill Thanos by herself. The Guardians hold a funeral for Yondu, which Kraglin and dozens of Ravager ships attend, acknowledging Yondu's sacrifice and accepting him as a Ravager again. During the funeral, Gamora admits she loves Peter, and they become a couple. In a series of mid- and post-credit scenes, Kraglin takes up Yondu's telekinetic arrow and control fin. Ravager leader Stakar Ogord reunites with his ex-teammates. Ayesha creates Adam, a new artificial being with whom she plans to destroy the Guardians. Groot grows into a teenager, and a group of uninterested watchers abandon their informant, who is discussing his experiences on Earth.
Gee, I've got so many more stories to tell.